Welcome to our Facebook Live sadhana today, and those folks who are joining us live on Zoom. Appreciate you being here. You can join me every week through the summer on Monday nights, 6:30, and Tuesday mornings at 9:15. I'm also posting this up on my YouTube channel for those who are still in the throes of the COVID and not able to get out to a regular studio. I know that's still going on. A lot of studios have opened up here and some have not. So this opportunity to be able to teach while maintaining our social distancing is a pleasure and honor for me to do it, bring that to you, and hope that it's received well. So I want to just talk maybe quickly about this class today is heart-centric, opening the heart and being available to feel in your own heart appropriateness of action, appropriateness of taking care of the anger and the angst and the frustration, and being able to alchemically change that into something that's beautiful and honoring of oneself and others. Because of course, what we do to one person, we also do to ourselves. And in the in the midst of COVID-19, we have this pandemic. It's Tuesday morning. We've had 2 or 3 nights of rioting in the streets about police brutality. I think the bigger picture here is the misuse of power and the abusiveness. We, as a community, as groups, certain groups and factions, take upon ourselves in the name of something greater good that we do that's harmful for others. And in any respect, any way we have that kind of energy, we unknowingly contribute to more violence and more of the same. It was Martin Luther King, and I don't have this quote down pat, but who said, we don't chase darkness with darkness, only the light removes the darkness and sheds difference. And such the same way, we don't chase hate or alleviate hate with hate. We only amplify it. So it's just a check-in. How are we holding ourselves accountable and our own emotional sovereignty? If we're feeling frustrated and we're feeling hate and we want to lash out, where is that coming from? Right? Maybe we've been oppressed or suppressed and it's just irritating. My challenge for myself in these times, because I'm feeling it too, is to prepare in some way to mitigate that anxiety, frustration, anger, maybe openly, maybe privately, publicly or privately, in a way that is not harmful to oneself or others. So it might be in the way of writing a book, writing poetry, painting, creativity, like getting into that space where I know who I am. I'm a child of God. I belong on the earth. I'm here for a reason. And I want to go forward in our practice today with that mentality. So we have a grounding sequence to help us really get into the earth. And then we have a creative portion, always creativity, to help with the second chakra, our feelings, honoring, owning, loving what comes up for us and the feelings and emotions. You have a right to those emotions. You have a right to be angry. You have a right to be heard. You have a right to stand up for yourself. Yes, yes, and yes. And we also have a right to take care of ourselves and those around us. And that brings us to the third chakra. These first three physical chakras are messed up. Like, we are not standing in our power. Our true power is that of love, unconditional love. Our true power comes from intention, confidence, bravery, courage. And this is the power of the third chakra. So we'll be doing a little twisting to reach those areas. And then finally, transmuting the physical manifestation of being belonging, knowing our feelings, knowing our worth, and being in our power, the power of love, and then transmuting that through the heart. So we'll begin. Let's take a seat. We'll start with just some simple movement in the spine. The sacred sit bones plugging into the earth. We're going to plug the fingers. We're going to make prongs, basically, with the pointer and middle finger, and then bring the thumb to the pinky and ring finger together. Place it into the earth. So you plug in, essentially, soak in the resilience, abundant, stable, solid nature of the earth. What are you grounded in? What are you solid in? If you're solid in your anger, let's build up a different rock. Create a rock that's rock solid in standing up for who you are in love, truth, right relationship with the world in an abundant manner. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, turn the palms open and reach to the sky. And as we plug into the earth, we can honor the sky and its vastness, and the possibilities that are before us are myriad. Plug that back down into the earth, where each of us belong here. You belong to the earth. You belong in the world. Exhale, earth and sky. That meditation, I am here now, applies to each and every individual who walks upon the earth here now. Exhale, not at the expense of another, not walking upon the heads or bodies of those, but actually being lifted and built up from our ancestors who have gone before. And then bringing a hand to lift others up as well. Inhale, reach overhead. One last time with that sky, earth, plugging in, and then bring the arms still into earth mudra. This turns into prana mudra with the thumb, pinky, and ring finger still touching each other. Then we bring the peace fingers together like a Cub Scout symbol and open the heart. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, lean back, crossing the arms in front. Inhale, open. Exhale. And in this way, we'll come into this water quality, the second chakra, our emotional stability, our place of feeling. And we sit with those feelings. Anger, frustration, the not being understood. We sit with those feelings and try to hold them, experience them. You have a right to feel. And emotional sovereignty says, I take responsibility for my emotional well-being. You have a right to feel. You have a choice in how you act upon those feelings. And place the hands to the knees and circumduct, coming into more of the third chakra here. I can create right action and what I do and how I feel and how I move in the world. These are physical chakras, energy centers, vortexes that were built when we were young. And if we don't find a way, let's reverse that, to balance them, we're going to tip as a nation. We're falling trap into an unbalance and unevenness in the world, whereas we're saying some people belong here and some people don't. That's just not true. We all belong here on the earth. We all have a right to our own feelings. We all have a right to our power, and that power to elicit expression. So this is the power, strongest power in the universe is that of love, not fear, not bullying, not coercing or forcing. The power of love. When we transmute those three energetic chakras through the heart, our actions, our words, our deeds, and the ideas coming through the heart here, meeting in the middle, are going to become more powerful, more succinct. And where we put our attention on is what we get more of. So let's intend this day to open the heart, to tear down the walls of divisiveness, to tear down the walls of comparison, to tear down the walls of shame, tear down the walls that divide us from another. These walls were built long before now, and they are ancestral walls. They need to tumble so that we can have heart open, heart wings, the hands coming out. Those that reach out and give to others and also receive. Tip it over to the left, like a big crescent moon. Inhale, center. Crescent right. Inhale, center. Crescent left. As we crescent, remember the moon, the sun, the stars, all lining up for everyone in the world, not just my head that the sun shines on. It shines on everyone. That's not selective. It's abundance and it's giving. May we be that way. Also, where in your world are you eliciting abundance? Let's twist to the left. Turn the head all the way back. Just the eyes move forward. And exercising the movement of the eyes, turn them back to the back wall and forward. So we're going from the right corner all the way to the left corner and back again with the eyeballs. And again, inhale, let's come back to center, twisting now to the right as you exhale. Keeping the steadiness through the torso, only the eyeballs move forward and back, forward. Set your intention today. What do you feel is appropriate? Maybe it's to say, have a conversation with a neighbor. Let's come back to center. Have a conversation on Facebook or participate in a rally. Whatever that intention is, let's back it with appropriate action and attention. Giving our attention to that which we want to promote more of. Crossing out the ankles, bring the hands forward. And let's come on to hands and knees and take some movement in a circular motion and a cat-cow action. Inhale, extending forward. Exhale, take the hips to the heels and press back into child's pose. Reflectively thinking on what we want to bring our most ardent action into and attention towards today. Exhale, back. Have this one wild life to live. Inhale. Exhale, drop back into child's pose. Where do we want to spend our life's energy in support of? Exhale, back. And as you come forward this time, take the right leg out to the side. Exhale, travel back with the hips and open up the inner thigh here. Inhale forward. For all you bikers, runners, hikers, inhale forward. Movers and shakers in the world. And yes, even those who are sitters, right? We all have this challenge of getting tight, rigid, stuck, and promoting one idealism when there are many. Come back to center, sweep the right leg back, press through the heel and forward and back, and thus we get more supple, more open in our thinking and our tuning in. Reach the right heel, hip height, inhale, stretch forward, and exhale, cross behind, looking over your left shoulder, inhale forward, exhale, cross behind. Inhale forward, reminiscent somewhat of our last week's sadhana. Inhale, hold here, take the left arm forward as well, and then teeter-totter, maybe touching down a toe and a finger, and then using your oblique center energetic muscular system to balance, and then draw the elbow to the knee, exhaling inward. Inhale, float outward, really strong extension. Exhale, tuck and touch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tuck and touch. With power and authority in your third chakra. And one more time, exhale, tuck and touch. Inhale here, touch the toe and the fingers to the floor. Kickstand the left hand and rotate open to the side wall, pressing into the floor with your right inner ball and heel, and stretch over. I've got a good distance of the shoulder sloping down towards the wrist. It's not right directly underneath. It's actually out just a little bit. So we can lift the hips and get that full openness through the right side body. Bend the elbow, take the hand behind the head, and then press the head back into the hand so you get even more open. The elbow charging to the front of the room. Plug in with your back foot. Full breath in. Exhale, release, and bring the hand to the floor. All the way back in. Downward facing dog here. We're going to take an intermediate posture, bending the right knee, press your left heel to the ground. Exhale and hold. Inhale, switch, right heel to the ground, left knee bends. Full breath in, exhale, hold. Inhale, switch again. Full breath in and exhale, hold. So we're not in a hurry. Full breath, inhale, switching. Exhale, hold, heel planted. One last time, inhale, switch, exhale, hold. And then bring your right heel to match the left towards the floor. They may or may not be touching. And pull the hands back, shoulders forward, coming into a high plank. Inhale here, exhale, press back into a downward facing dog. Inhale forward again, shoulders moving, lift the hips, thighs press back, sit bones wide, downward facing dog. Third time, hold the plank pose, bring the knees to the floor, and then bend the elbows. We're going to take 3 dips into the pool and then press back up. And the dip does not happen in the hip the dip happens because the elbow bends and then the chest comes down, and then press back up. That's 2. Third time's the charm. Hug the elbows in. You may be just 1 or 2 inches down. Press all the way back. Take the hips to the heels into child's pose. From here, glide along the surface of the mat. Inhale into low cobra, lifting just the chest, head, neck, and shoulders peel back. Exhale, release, and back onto the hips to heels, child's pose. Take a breath here. And let's take a moment to take a fist and rotate through the wrist. This is about the 4th time I've done this particular sequence, so I'm adding on. You're getting the most out of it in this particular practice today. Plant the hands, spread the fingers wide, and press into the fingertips. So we want to keep a strong hand grip, and this is definitely feeling like you're supporting yourself with your forearms rather than sinking into the wrist. Then we'll take the left leg out, and we'll continue with that same sequence, but on the left side. So inhale, we're in a tabletop. Exhale, we're pressing the hips back to the heels. Inhale forward. Exhale back. This just happens to be one of my new favorite sequences. I've done a lot of favorites. This has been really, really nice to have you along for the ride through COVID-19. Let's go one more time. Inhale, exhale back, and then we'll sweep the left leg behind, the toe to the earth, and press through the heel, giving a little pulsation forward and back. Again, opening the back side, and then raise the left heel hip height. Inhale, look over your right shoulder and toe tap, crossing the mat to your right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, cross it over. And we're charging the hamstrings, so a lot of work in the back body. Exhale, touch. Inhale here, one more time, crossing. And we'll lift the heel, hold it there, float the right arm forward. From the shoulder, stretch out. From the hip, press back into the heel. Reach and elongate. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck and touch, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, touch, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tuck and touch. Inhale, extend, and then exhale, bring the toes and the fingers to the floor. Palm flat to the mat. Kickstand the right leg and open to the side wall. In Vasisthasana, or side plank. Left arm reaching up and over. Really grip the fingertips into the floor. Bend the top elbow, hand behind the head, and then press the head into the hand. Open the chest and heart. So we anchor and we feel solid in our stability, in the floor, in the ground, the hand, knee, and the foot all pressing down so we can open through the upper chamber, the heart, throat, third eye. Exhale, rotate it all the way back. Press into a full downward facing dog. Releasing the low back. Inhale, glide into the top of a push-up. And we'll take 3 of these again. Starting with the knees down. Hands are wide, broad. Wrists directly under the elbow. Elbow right over the wrist. And as you bend, the torso lowers, not the hip. And then we press back up. So maintain a height of the hips, even with the shoulders, so that when you bend, it's a plank. The whole body is a plank. Press back up. And a third time, we'll press back into child's pose. Yes, this is my second class today, so my arms are really feeling it. I love the effectiveness of the strengthening. We really want to get strong in our arms. Inhale, glide along the surface of your mat, coming into low cobra. And then exhale, pick the hips up, press all the way back into a downward facing dog. We'll step the right leg to the top of the mat. So you're coming into a low lunge with the back knee elevated. Low lunge here. We're going to straighten the front leg. On an inhale, bow the head in towards the shin, and on exhale, pull your heel back. The shin is parallel or perpendicular to the floor, I should say, and the heart is open, and that's an exhale. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, bend. And we're going to add a breath to this. So inhale, lift the hips. On the exhale, simha breath. That is to stick the tongue out, try to touch your chin, and then roar like a lion. Looking directly at your nose. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lion's breath. Inhale, lift the hips. Twice more. Exhale. One more. Breath in, exhale. And then let's speed it up. Inhale. Two more. One more. And step all the way back to downward facing dog. Nice job. And energetically, we're relieving ourselves of the carbon dioxide, which, as we know, doesn't serve to be stuck in the lung. I'm going to cleanse that out. At the same time, cleansing action, just think about releasing the thoughts and feelings. It's our thoughts that are invoking the feelings and the stories in our head that possibly we're building on that aren't true, right? So we have to ask ourselves, is what I'm thinking true? Step the left leg forward. Is it serving me in a way that's honoring towards myself and others? If that is false, then the thoughts in your head are actually faulty. Okay, so they're just thoughts, and we don't have to energize them by putting our attention on them. But bring your awareness to those thoughts so we can change them. The inhale is a straight leg. Exhale, simha breath. Inhale, lift the hips. 4 slow, 3 fast. Exhale. Inhale. And again. And then with a little more vigor and speed, exhale. 2 more. Last one. Step all the way back. Take a downward facing dog. Shifting the hips side to side. Inhale, come into a full plank. Exhale, 3 push-ups. This is our arm strengthening here. Lower down halfway, press back up. 1. You take the hips back, pull forward through the crown of the head, bend the elbows. 2, press back up, hips back. And a last time, coming forward, exhale, and all the way into a child's pose. Skim along the surface of your mat. Inhale into low cobra. And then exhale, take it all the way back up into downward facing dog. Reaching the right leg to the sky. Inhale. Pause here. Hips are square. We'll rotate through the ankle. So the leg is rather low lying. So the inner thighs spinning up to the sky. The outer thighs slower to open up. Right? Let's keep it square through the hips. Then step the right leg all the way through. We're going to spin the back heel to the floor and come into triangle pose. Trikonasana. So right hand to the shin, elevate the torso as much or as little as your inner thigh will be challenging for you. Then pick up the left hand to the sky. Hold 3, 2, big breath in, big breath out. 1 more. Very nice. 10% less tension in the shoulders. See if you can release that a little bit. Now with your front leg super strong, you're going to pull that heel back, and that sends the shin forward. Rest your elbow to the thigh. Take the top hand and reach back. Take your gaze to the fingertips and a big circle. So mandala, the back arm comes forward. And we're going to circle around. Keep your eye gaze on the fingertips. Exhale all the way around. And again, this is great movement for the shoulders. And the eyeballs and the head rotates along with the fingertips. Third time, you're going to bring the arms straight up. Take your gaze out over the front fingers and lift into warrior two. Keeping the front thigh, let's get it parallel to the floor if we can. You're shooting for that. And maybe even challenge yourself by extending the feet out of your comfort range into a wider stance. Plug into the earth through the outer edge of your back foot. Open the arms wide. One more breath here. Dropping the left hand to the shin. Let's take a reverse warrior. Full breath in to the nose, full breath out. This class is from 9:15 to 10:30. It's in a 75-minute class. Let's pull back through to a warrior two. Simply take the hands to the earth, pop the back heel open, twisting low lunge, right hand on the thigh. You're going to take that arm again in that same mandala action. So extending the right hand to the sky, reach back. So full twist here. You're going to feel it across the sacrum, down to the floor. Inhale, reaching up, full extension. This should look like a pointer dog, right? We're pointing in direction, and then mandala the arm all the way around again. With breath, inhale coming up, exhale flowing forward, and inhale, hold here, take a deeper low lunge, let the hips lower. If you're on a block, that's perfect. And give it a little pulsation. So we're back into the setter. I don't know what those dogs are called, but a setter dog, where pointer dog, bird dog, and free up the right leg, step all the way back, downward facing dog. Ooh, well done. Inhale, glide forward into a plank. And we'll take a normal chaturanga sequence into low cobra, and then back into downward facing dog. And after our second side, we'll do our 3 push-ups. All right, so that's going to be part of our class today. Strengthening for the arms. Lift the left leg. Again, we're raising the inner thigh at a faster rate than the outer thigh. So if you feel like you're turning and opening, rotate through the inner thigh up to the sky, heel lifting, ankle rotating. And this is probably pleasantly challenging as we hold this posture. Step the left knee all the way through, top of the mat, back heel to the floor, and we're coming into Trikonasana. So the way to do this, gently push through the ball of the front foot to straighten the leg, and the torso rises up to meet the challenge or the edge of your hamstring. Honor that. Right arm to the sky. Holding here for 3 breaths. Keep the quadricep active, both sides. Press into the ball of the front foot so your calf is active as well. That's going to help maintain strength in the legs. Then we'll pull the heel back energetically, which will bend the knee. And now we're in side angle. Reach towards the back wall. Follow your fingertips with the head and eyeballs. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, coming all the way around for a second rotation. And then a third rotation through the arm. This time the arm helps pull you up into warrior two. Your gaze goes forward out over the front fingertips, parallel through the front thigh, and then challenge the length between the feet out of your comfort zone. Hold 2 more breaths, low belly in. What are you standing for? Where are you putting your attention? Where is your foundation? Stand up for what is truth and right in your life. Right hand comes down, left arm comes up. Inhale, liberty and freedom for all. Not to do as you please, but the right and freedom and liberty to the air we breathe, the right and freedom and liberty to belong in the earth. Let's come back through. Flank the hands on either side of the leg. That we're not prejudiced against one faction or another. Let's give a little pulsation through the back foot. And then left hand to the thigh will rotate open now with a gentle slope through the sacrum. We're opening to the left side. Bring the left arm up. Inhale. Stretch it all the way back. Turn and look over your back shoulder. Right? So we're really completing that twist. And as you come forward, the shoulders unwind slightly. Inhale up, exhale all the way around. We'll take that on a third circle. Reaching forward and back like an Irish setter. Let the hips come down. Hold 3. A little pulsation through the back foot. 2. And 1. Release the left hand inside your left foot. Free it up by pushing the earth away and taking the leg all the way back into a downward facing dog. So it should feel like a break right here. We're working very hard. Inhale, come forward into the top of a push-up. Now you have a choice here to bring the knees to the floor for our 3 push-ups or keep the knees elevated. So I'll show this time with the knees elevated. I'm going to propel myself forward. So as I bend the elbows, they stay right over the wrist. And I pause, shoulders broad, clavicle broad. And then as I press up, I'm lifting my midsection as well so that it doesn't get left behind, right? We're not doing it in a wave. This is a plank. Forward, lower down, chaturanga. Press back up, that's 2. We're only doing 3, 1 more. Whew. Lower and press back up. Take it all the way back into a downward facing dog and then knees to the floor, child's pose. This is where we get to a little bit of a break. Skim along the surface of the mat. Inhale into low cobra. Releasing the head to the floor. Exhale back into a child's pose. And let's take a moment to breathe. Bring the elbows to the mat. Rest your wrists, palms together, and the fingertips towards the hips, down the base of the spine, or down the base of the neck, towards the spine. One more breath. And we're going to take one more sequence. And bringing the hands back to the earth. Open up here. More to open the heart and then move into some deeper heart opening movement. So we'll come onto the tips of the finger or palm of the hand. Let's take a downward facing dog. Comfortable. Be really deep and the heels coming towards the floor. Yeah, and that creates some tension in the back body. The tensegrity is where we can get into the fascia and start opening that connective tissue so the muscles have space and room to move. And from here, reach the right leg straight up. So again, the hips are square. Then we're going to hamstring curl. So you're pulling the heel towards the glute. Now lift a little bit higher, the heel leading. And then we're going to open the hips or knees away from each other, which means the left leg stays steady. It's not rotating. Just the right leg opens because it's an open chain, right? It's not fixed to the floor. Your left leg, even though it's opening, it's fixed, so it looks like it doesn't move. But it's definitely working the outer rotator. Stay out of collapse. Hold one more breath. Oh yeah, your arms are feeling it. And then step all the way through to your low lunge. We're going to come off the arms, bring your knee to the floor with a blanket if you like. Make sure you've got good space between the two, the front heel and the back. No, front heel and back knee. And then place the hands on the thigh. You come into an elevated posture, the front heel pulling towards the back knee, and you're hugging the midline. Let's bring the arms all the way up to the sky. Hook the thumbs, press the shoulders broad, palms facing forward. Inhale here and release the thumbs. Exhale, bring your elbows in and raise the chest even higher. Inhale, touch the thumbs. Exhale, pull down. Inhale, strong foundation. The strong foundation is what gives us the action to move from, gives us the stability so the upper body can actually move without being in harm's way. Exhale, release to the floor. Pop the back knee up and walk the hands here all the way around. So you're turning the feet. My apologies for facing the wrong way. I'm going to just turn right now. So your left leg's forward, right leg is back. You gently bring the knee to the floor, both hands to the thighs. So your opposite leg is forward. Big breath in. Reach the arms overhead, hook the thumbs, palms facing the front of the room. Inhale, make that curl or curve in the upper thoracic region of the spine. So, which means we don't want to curve the low back faster than the rate we're curving the upper back. So pull the ribs in, tone the pelvic floor, broaden the shoulders. That's already 2 breaths, one more. And then from here, exhale, elbows in, inhale, touch the thumb. 3 breaths here, exhale, elbows in, chest lifted. Inhale, hands up, exhale. Inhale, hands up. And exhale, bring it all the way to the floor. Yes, it's definitely tough. Lift the back knee. From here, plant the hands and take the left leg all the way up to the sky. Inner thigh charging upward at the same rate as the outer thigh. Bend the knee and then fix your right knee to hover above the earth, and then open the knees away from each other. So you have to make concessions. That right leg has to move. If it doesn't, it looks like this, and then we start sinking. Really powerfully open up the right knee, left knee, hip opens, and then step the left leg forward again. Hold here. We'll bring the back knee to the earth once again. Inhale, sweep the arms around. Pancake the hands together. And exhale, hands to the floor. Pop the back knee. We're going to walk over to the right side. All the way around. Back knee gently to the floor. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, take the hands to the earth. Pop the back knee, open to the front. Turn the toes out, heels in, and then bend your left knee. We're going to bring the left elbow to it and get the knee to really open, the inner groin to open. Pop the right toes up towards the sky. And then come back to center. Now, there's a couple ways to do this. You can lean forward, and that's going to lift the heel off the ground. But your knee is going to probably not like this position, because see how much pressure is there. So we're going to come back to center. Now, as you bend the right knee, take your elbow and just gently guide the knee over the second and third toe. So hold here. Can you keep your heel down? Okay, pause. If the heel's down, draw the back toes up And if you want to go lower, you have to take the weight back. Otherwise, your heel will lift. So lower down, the hips come back, and I'm supporting myself with my hands. Let's try that on the first side. Coming up, walk the hands over to the left. Elbow presses the knee open. So already we're feeling a stretch. You can stay here and just lift the toes, dig the heel in, and pause. If you want to go deeper, the hand comes back and the hips lean back. So more of the weight's in the heel, less in the ball of the foot. Come back to center. Let's try it to the right. And with the heels on the ground, come forward, come back and forth. And if you'd like, the arms can open and close. And exhale, inhale, and exhale. Oh, one more. Yes, we're definitely strengthening the legs. Come back to center, all 10 toes, facing the front wall. Bring the hands down the sides of the legs, grabbing the big toe with the first 2 fingers of the hand. So we split big toe to the next toe, wrap the fingers behind the toe, and then lift and exhale, lower forehead towards the floor. You're taking that deeper dive extension, wide angle forward fold, Padottanasana, Parsarita Padottanasana. 2, one more breath. And raise the head, take the hands underneath the nose, planting the left hand, raise the right arm from the shoulder straight up to the sky, palms facing the same direction your eyeballs are looking. Then take your eyes and look up to the hand, but don't move the head. And keep the head facing the side wall and just the eyes move. Exhale, plant the right hand. We'll go to the left, and as you sweep the left arm up, keep it in the same plane so it doesn't go behind you. It stays in the same plane. It works a different muscle. We really want to get into the back shoulder and not here into the front pec, holding the arm up, so that we stay in the same plane, meaning we don't go forward or back with the arm. It's straight underneath the chest, opens up, and now straight over the head and over the standing arm. And then bring it back to center. Walk the hands over to the right. Left arm threads through to the right ankle. Bend and then twist, looking underneath the shoulder. Hold 3. Hold 2. Again, we're opening the solar plexus. And 1. Come back to center. Walk the hands around to the left. Right arm threads through and around the left ankle. Bend the elbows and rotate open. Hold 3. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Oh, yes, and there's feeling everywhere. Right, let's get into, where are you feeling that? Where is the tightness? Where can you sweeten it up a little bit and challenge the status quo where you're used to going in the muscles, and change it up so you have more support. Let's come back to center. Turn the heels in. The toes are out, and bring the elbows to the knees. So we've got a wide stance here. We're just going to shift side to side. Then bring the hands to the knees. You can still shift side to side. Drop a shoulder in. And then lift back to center. And another shoulder. One more time. A little bit deeper. And back to center. And a little bit deeper. And then straighten the legs. And coming all the way up into Trikonasana, star pose. Right. The arms in a high V, the legs wide. And we'll come back into goddess pose here. The hands crossing, and we'll exhale as the arms come around. Inhale to the top, exhale, Inhale, exhale. And then let's reverse that action. They come down, overhead, inhale. Inhale as they come up, exhale, through the mouth. Again, 4 more. Alternating the wrist that's crossing. 2 more. Last one. Take it all the way down, hands to the inside. Strong inner thighs. Inner thighs are the warriors of the low back. We're building strength there. Now push through the feet, squeeze the inner thighs, and rise up slowly. Push the floor away. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going till the legs get all the way straight. Arms up to the sky. Beautiful job. And then exhale. Hands to the waist, toes come in, and we'll bring the feet together. Shake the legs out. Well done. Bring the arms overhead. Clasping the wrist, crescent to the left. Inhale back to center, crescent to the right, and building towards a bigger back bend. Inhale back to center, crescent left. One more time. Inhale center and crescent right. Beautiful job. Inhale center. Now bring the arms to the base of the spine. I'll turn to the side. Palms or fingertips up or down. So you get to choose. And we're going to squeeze and hold the elbows towards each other. Hug them in towards center. Squeeze and hug the inner thighs to center. Easy to do because the legs are together, but not so easy when we get into Ustrasana. So let's practice here. And the tailbone drops and we pull the low belly in. So there's no pushing forward of the hip that dumps into your low back. The lifting of the pelvic floor helps maintain the energy to hold the low back in an appropriate way. And then we'll lift the sternum to the sky, hug the elbows, press down to the inner ball and heel of the foot. One more breath, hold here. And then really push into the earth, pull the front body together, ribs towards the hip, and using the front body back to a stable, neutral spine. Well done. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, take a forward fold. It's a pretty good bend in the knees. So we come to neutral spine here. It's not a full forward fold. The hands to the floor. Inhale, lift the hips. Now we're going to that forward fold and getting a deeper stretch. Do the back. And walk the feet all the way back into a downward facing dog. So I'll shift the weight forward a little bit, free the feet up, walk back. Inhale, glide into plank, and we'll take just a normal chaturanga flow, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog or a low cobra. Exhale, release the forehead to the floor and stay here on the front side. We're going to take the hands off the mat onto the fingertips, push down into the floor, and then raise the elbows up. And as you push the floor into the floor, earth with your fingertips, you're going to feel the shoulder blades really strongly come towards the center spine. And when that happens, root down through the hip section. Here, root the thighs and take the sit bones straight back towards the heels. Raise the head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale here. So the possibility of lifting higher depends on how strong we are in our foundation, keeping the pelvis neutral, keeping the ribs in, and then lower down. And just notice where you are in relationship to your low back. Take all the anxiety out of that. We'll take it one more time, lifting just to the point of feel good to you. Squeeze the inner thighs, tops of the feet down, up on your fingertips. Inhale, lift, head, neck, and shoulders. Chest comes forward. Hold 3, shoulders down, away from the ears. None of this, right? That's, oh, we got to strengthen the arms. 2, 1 more. And then exhale. All the way down. And I think my back is fully and completely better from all the gardening I did the other day. It was not feeling that great. So hands together, the base of the spine, awkward lace, lift the feet, lift the torso, come into full locust pose, hold 3, legs lifted, hold 2, very strong, hold 1, and release again, forehead to the floor. Shake the hips side to side. And let's repeat that. Shalabhasana here, or if you'd like, bend the knees, clasp the ankles or tops of the feet, and then press and open into bow. Yeah. Hold 3, hold 2, and 1 more. Release. Bend the knees, bring the feet all the way into the glutes. Tuck the tailbone. Release the legs. And press up to hands and knees. Neutral spine here, and then press all the way back, hips to heels for child's pose. And hold, breathe into the back body, in the kidney area. Infusing and energizing the adrenals. I love child's pose because I call it the battery charge pose. When you're feeling really tired, you simply recharge the battery. And the forehead's on the floor. We get to introspect for a moment. Where are we expending our energy and what are we putting it towards? Where our attention fuels intention. If we're intending for peace, promoting compassion, and we want to see more of that in the world, our attention needs to be placed there also. Just turn the toes under and press the hips back to the heels. Give a little stretch for the soles of the feet and come forward. Scoot your knees back an inch or so and press the heels back again. The hips back again towards the heel. We deepen the stretch. And one more time. All the way back. Walk the hands back. If you can, we're going to stay in a screaming toe. Bring the fingers back. Blocks would be appropriate here. If this is a lot for your toes, because it is a huge bend, you could bring the tops of the foot down. And we're just going to lift the hips gently away from the heel. So stay here. There's a couple ways to do this. I'll show you. If you want to increase the stretch in both arenas, the hands come to the top of the heel, ankle. And I'm not doing the camel. I'm just opening the front quad. Okay, another way to do that that's less intense for the toes is bringing the top of the foot down, hands behind. It's an easier reach as well, and then the hips lift. So again, you have choice, right? If you're feeling anxiety, frustration, like you have complete choice over the creativity of putting this posture in your body and making it feel healing. So again, where we put our attention and set our intention, that's where we want to put our attention and focus on. Let's come to kneeling position. open, place the hands on the heart. This is the intention today, was to be heart-centered, focused on breaking down the walls of injustice, the walls of divisiveness, the walls of judgment, the walls of shaming, blaming, and naming, versus and replacing that with a heart openness of compassion, those qualities of the heart that might be covered up, the forgiveness aspect, and the love in abundance and overflowing, because that is the most powerful force in the world, in the universe. Then place the hands to the base of the spine, thumbs in, fingers wrapping around the waist, toes turned under, elbows hugging, magnetized towards each other, and then lift the sternum. At the same time, draw up through the pelvic floor, and the tailbone is just going to sweetly tilt towards the floor, anchor into the earth. Now squeeze the elbows towards each other and hug the inner thighs towards each other. So take that into a deeper back extension, the whole front body contracting, bring it back to neutral. Gently walk the hands forward into a tabletop, neutral spine here. And if you're in knees, if this is rough on the knees, bring something underneath them. A blanket, a pillow, use what's in your neighborhood, your own home. So a second camel, just like the first. The hands come around, fingertips up or down, you choose. Elbows hug in, inner thighs hug in, and we take it back again. Your choice to bring the chin in if you've got neck issues, or if you really have some flexibility in your back bend, you might want to touch down to the heel. If that doesn't promote anxiety in the low back, remember to squeeze and hug the inner thighs. Shoulder blades lift the heart upward, and the head can tilt all the way back. And as you come forward, strong in the front body, root down and anchor into the floor, lift, and bring the hands to heart center. Full breath in, full breath out, and walk the hands again to tabletop. We'll go the hips side to side. Let's take it into a child's pose once again, very neutral. Soften the forehead towards the floor. Big stretch through the spine. And not all things feel good the first time you try them. So I want you to repeat this practice over and over again until there is more space and freedom in the low back. There's more strength and connection and support in the inner thighs. The hips are more open. We have more strength in the legs. And then promoting the arm strength too. All of that's so helpful. Not to give up, but do as much as is possible for you to do in this moment. We're going to come out of a child's pose. Walk your hands up, cross the feet, and bring the feet through to a seated pose. Fingertips spread or facing the side wall, so they're turned. The wrist creases straight, parallel to the sides of your mat. Pull the heels in, press down through the heels on the top of the foot, lift the hips into now a reverse tabletop. Hold 3. Hold 2. And one more again. If the knees are out, then we're not holding strong to center line through the inner thighs because they may have a weakness. So push the inner ball and heel into the floor. Squeeze the inner thighs. Hold the structure. So there's some sound anatomical alignment that can really be sweet and helpful in your healing process. Bring the hips to the floor. Bring the elbows to the mat, where we'll work the front side to stabilize the low back. So we're going to lift the heels. Keep the toes on the earth. Pull the low belly in, lift the chest. So this is phase 1. Stay here. If you want phase 2, it's lifting the legs to the sky. And then slowly lowering at an angle about 30 degrees away from 90 until you feel your abs kick in. And again, you're staying here with the knees bent or extending the legs out to find the edge appropriateness to work your abs, not your low back. Make sure you're not working your low back because we're here for about a minute. All right, so we're not on the tailbone, we're somewhere behind the tailbone, more on the sacrum area. That's already about 5 breaths. We're going to do something fun, and that's to shift the legs just to the diagonal. And if your knees are bent, right, then you're shifting the knees. Same thing, you lift the feet, you're working the obliques or extend the legs out. And an option to extend the right arm. So any of these progressions can really help us find our own edge and then hold. We're going to bring it back to center, 5 breaths there, and finally 5 breaths to the right. Shift the legs again. The left arm comes out as the right legs tip over to the side. Try one leg bent. If it's not enough for you to have both knees bent, try one leg straight. Okay, that might be your edge. Or both legs straight might be your edge. That's already 5 breaths. Bring it back to center. See if you can hold it here for a breath. Finish it out really nice and strong, and then bend the knees. Into the chest, widen the elbows, and lower all the way down onto your back. Pull the knees into the chest. Gently roll your head side to side if that put any anxiety in your neck. And release the tension. Place the feet firmly on the floor. We'll take a bridge. Again, squeezing the inner thighs, pressing down through the feet. Pull the heels back and raise the hips up. Take the chest towards the chin. Keep the chin in a neutral position, more lifted towards the ceiling, and push back through the top of the head. And this way we can get some groundedness in the back of the shoulder and up off the cervical spine. So the whole spine is elevated. Again, from the feet, root down through the inner ball and heel. What are you rooted in? Let's hold that strong foundation. Don't let the sway of society or a mob mentality move you from your individual choice to be emotionally sovereign, to stand up for what's right for you in your life and move from the heart, no matter what. We're not swayed by herd mentality, right? Let's bring the hip back down. We can make our own intellectual choices. Release the hips to the floor. And we'll take this with the arms at your side. We're going to raise the hips, inhale. Stay with the inhale and bring the arms overhead as well. So they're following. On your exhale, lower the hips first, and then a wave-like action comes after, and the arms float down to the earth. That's one breath. Inhale, lift the hips, push down through the feet, raise the arms. Exhale, lower the hips. Keep the heels hugging in and lower the arms. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, lift the hips. Arms follow suit. With that full extension, inner thighs engaged. Exhale, lower the hips. And then the arms. And one more time. Remember, as you push down, don't let the weight go to the outer edge of the feet. Push down and your inner thighs will engage. Arms come up. Exhale, wave-like quality, lower the hips. And then bring your arms to the earth. Ah, feels so, so good. Relax all the way down. Bring the knees in. And holding the knees here, let's make a circle through the hip. And still holding the knees, heart-shaped circle. The knees come around, touch, and straight up the spine of the heart, all the way around. That should feel lovely. Last one. Split the knees up towards the armpit, unfold at the knee so the feet come to the sky. Place the hands outside the shin and down on top of the foot, the sole of the foot pressing down, the hands pressing down, and the sole of the foot pressing up into the hand. So then rock side to side, and open through the groin. We're going to rock all the way over to the right. The possibility of closing the shins together, rolling the head with you, and then come back to center. If it feels good. Like otherwise you can stay in happy baby, or you can make your way into Shavasana already. Let's try that one more time. Inhale, exhale, float to the right. I know this just makes me feel like a kid and playful and get into my creativity. Fold over. Come back to center. Awesome. And when you're ready, release the legs all the way to the earth. Stretch the legs out to the corner pockets of your mat. Just scoot them right in. Arms come to your side, palms open. Resting deeply and comfortably in Shavasana. Release the head side to side. So just making sure that there's no tension. Deep breath in. And exhale the air out. Again, take a deep breath in. Exhale fully and completely. And with it, let your shoulders relax. And we start to notice when we build up tension in the body, that starts an emotional picture. An emotion stirs up when we have tension in the body. That emotion can send signals to the brain to start a story going that matches the emotion. So if that emotion is something that we're not wanting to put attention on, that emotion stirs up anger, anxiety, frustration. And the story in our head is going to match the emotion. It's going to start stirring up, conjuring up energies of the past. And in the past where we have felt misunderstood, frustrated, dishonored, not belonging. And those stories then feed upon, that are sending signals from the body, feed back into the emotional circuitry of the body. And the cycle is like a hamster wheel. So one way of stopping that cycle is to pause and notice the emotion. Feel it, own it, and then let it go. It's like, yes, the emotion is frustration, but am I frustrated in this moment? Like, do I need to be frustrated here and now? No, I can soften my gaze and attention, turn the corners of the mouth up. So I have an emotional expression of wonder, awe, joy, beauty, love. That will change the picture in the mind, or send a signal to the mind saying, hey, let's find ways to capture this emotion. We got to match the emotion. So let's build stories of how we can create community instead of distance. How we can help a neighbor instead of fight with a neighbor. How we can come together for solutions instead of being part of the problem. So in this way, we are the change we want to see in the world. We are on the hamster wheel of light, love, and promoting wellness and health by choice, by design, not leaving it to chance and disenchantment. Breathe that in, bring a hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Power resides and lies within. The power of the solar plexus, the energy of creativity, and the power of the present moment, transmuted through the heart of compassion, love, empathy, forgiveness. Translates our thoughts into actions. The stories that we believe can be true do become truth. Picture now in your heart, your strength, your mind, most powerful part of you. It has the power to wield the sword of truth, to wield the power of compassion to oneself and to one's neighbor. Who do you have to be? What action do you need to take to come into the creativity of that coming into fruition? So the fruit of the roots of the tree are not poison, but they are the elixir of life. They are sweet to the taste. And everyone flocks to the tree to share in the richness, the divineness of our own true nature. Take a deep breath in, gently bend the knees and bring them into the chest. Roll to one side. Give yourself an acknowledgement in fetal position or on the side. For that power and responsibility and yes, accountability that you do take, the influence that you have over others, the possibilities and limitless engagement available to you. And help yourself to seated posture on your mat. Breathe in, take it in. Right hand to the heart, left hand to the heart, Hridaya. The thinking brain of the heart. The more powerful, intuitive energy that lies at the base of the heart, that power center. We want to open it in an abundant way. To the power of forgiveness, compassion, love, empathy. And allow yourself to tear down the walls that divide us, that send shame and blame to others, rather honor and respect Notice where people are showing up the best they know how. Bring the hands to your heart center. Honor and respect the self and you showing up the best way you know how. Your best is good enough. You are good enough. You belong on the earth. You have a right to feel. You are powerful beyond measure. And those right relationships transmute our actions through the heart and they become one of sharing our gifts and talents with the world. Thank you for joining me on this journey through our mat. And we take this journey off the mat into the world and enjoy the ups and downs, the meandering, the meadows, the green grass, the open sun, the rain, the sleet, the snow, the slogging. All of it is for our benefit. All of it is for our enjoyment. Take a deep breath in, relax the shoulders, and exhale. I honor that place, peace, light, love inside of you, and honor that place of peace, light, and love inside of me. When we are in that space, we are one. Namaste. Thank you so much. Bye on Facebook. Leave a comment, please. Love having you here. And for those who join us on the recording, thank you so much for being here. Namaste.